As I co-facilitate my first Our Whole Lives curriculum for young adults later this year, this is what I want to bring to the table. I won't pretend that I have everything all figured out. There's simply too much to be figured out. At this point, at least, I have some questions and a holy curiosity to guide me along the way. A Course in Miracles goes further to distinguish holy relationships from special relationships. A special love relationship is based on giving something in order to get something back. If you give me your hand in marriage, I will give you financial security. If you give me pleasure, I will give you affection. In these relationships, an agreement is made, and both parties are expected to fulfill their parts of the deal. You bring your 50%, I'll bring my 50%, and then we'll get 100% of the relationship. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about the special relationship I was in some years ago. As a young adult, I was once infatuated with another young man I wanted for my very own. I thought I was in love. He was shockingly disinterested. He had been extremely poor early in his life, so when he started to get a little bit better off, he got a bunch of credit cards, including his prized American Express Gold. He went and spent more than he could repay at the end of the month. I thought to myself, I'll show him how much I love him. I offered to take out a $2,000 cash advance on my credit card so that he could catch up on the balance of his American Express Gold. He accepted. And he still didn't want me. Shocking. And a month later, they still canceled his credit card for non-payment, and I never saw that money again. Giving in order to get something back doesn't work. I'm glad I learned that lesson at the $2,000 level instead of $20,000. Can I tell you some truths about my life and still be loved? I hope so. I want you to know that you can say anything to me, even if it's about how I offended you this morning with this sermon, and I will still love you. I promise. I have only one love to offer. One essence that manifests in a variety of ways, the way that H2O can be water, steam, ice, or snow. And what happens when the expectations of a special love relationship go unmet? You get a special hate relationship. You didn't hold up your end of the deal. Now, instead of rewarding you, you must be punished. Or I didn't hold up my end of the deal, and I'm deserving of punishment. A holy relationship is different from a special relationship. In a holy relationship, the love that is shared is not walled off from the rest of the world. The love that is felt for one is felt for all of humankind. That love can be expressed in countless ways, some of them physically intimate, some less intimate, and some not at all. With integrity, the pieces fit together. The music of our lives sounds true. The dance of our lives has rhythm, passion, and grace. Our selfish, separate interests fall away, and all we want for each other is the fullness of love, joy, and peace. We might be the ones in motion at this time, but at such times, life is dancing with itself. When our hearts are open, when our minds are clear, when we want only the best for each other, the dance and we are one. I had such a transcendent experience in worship once with a small congregation I served many years ago. I looked out upon the gathered community and suddenly perceived the warmth, beauty, and power of each and every one of them, as if they were each a lit candle. Many years ago, I went to study at the World Council of Churches Ecumenical Institute in Geneva for 5 months after I graduated from seminary and before I became a Unitarian Universalist minister. My classmates and I were 48 students from 33 countries around the globe, of different means, hues, ages, languages, sexual orientations, and gender identities. As a child of the African American culture, I was welcomed into the African student group, but some familiar and painful barriers emerged there in the Swiss countryside. I offer this poem that I wrote after I returned to the United States that reflects something of how grace met me in my despair when the dance of relatedness seemed to end. It's called West Coast East. I wanted him to say words of comfort, words that would assure me that there would always be room for me in the body. Surely his wisdom from our motherland, surely in his wisdom from our motherland, there would be some black pearl that he would release from a tightly closed shell that I could hold on to forever. And each time the powers and principalities of this world scrutinized and denied my experience of God, I could take out my black pearl, a gift from our ancestors spoken in some ancient tongue. Their voices would speak, and my heart would know that I would always belong among the people, my people. But my brother, the scholar, the theologian from the west coast east of the Atlantic said, those whose behavior is unacceptable will be put outside of the community. This is our custom. Afterward, I walked out into the mist under the limbs of barren trees, under the skies of endless gray, and I searched for shelter. Yet in that moment I knew that no locked shell held the pearl, the promise of a place where all that I loved about me and all that God made me to be would be seen as a blessing and not a curse. Walking along the shore where my stream of thought flows into the sea, I found a shell somewhere between my heart and my soul. It looked like the face of my mother glowing whenever I go back home. It felt like the hands of my father spinning his child around in circles. It tasted like a lover's kiss breaking through my solitude. Its scent was that of a dying friend held close in my arms. When I held the shell to my ear, it sounded like laughter and tears and daybreak. A voice inside me saying, you are part of me. You will always belong. I wish for each of us this morning that the power of the erotic would be alive within us. May we be open to the holy touch of the universe in all the ways that it calls us to abundant life. And may we be open to each other, celebrating the unity that binds us together forever. May our dream be the dance of love.
Mm-hmm.